Imagine you are sitting in your car at a red light, minding your own business, scrolling through a music playlist. You look over and see a police cruiser idling next to you. The officer isn't looking at you. He isn't even looking out the window. He is staring at a laptop screen. In that exact moment, a silent, invisible technological vacuum is sucking up data from your vehicle and your pocket that you didn't even know you were broadcasting. This isn't science fiction, and it isn't just happening in big cities. It is a brand new wave of surveillance technology that allows law enforcement to bypass the Fourth Amendment without ever asking a judge for a warrant or knocking on your door. They are using your own devices against you, turning your car, your phone, and even your smart watch into a digital informant that never stops talking. Today, as a legal professional who spends every day fighting for constitutional rights in the courtroom, I am going to pull back the curtain on this new tech. I am going to show you exactly how they are doing it, why the current laws are failing to protect you, and most importantly, I am going to give you the specific high-tech and low-tech countermeasures you can use right now to shut down the spying and reclaim your privacy. This is about knowing the rules of a game that has completely changed in the last 24 months. To understand how to stop this new spying, we first have to identify the invisible harvester. The biggest shift in police tech right now is something called digital forensics at a distance. In the old days, if the police wanted to see what was on your phone, they had to seize it physically and use a tool like Cellebrite or Graykey to break into it. Now, they are using cell site simulators and signal interceptors that can trigger your phone to give up its unique identifiers and location data while it is still in your pocket. But the newest threat is vehicle telematics harvesting. Most cars built after 2018 are essentially giant smartphones on wheels. They are constantly connected to the internet via an internal cellular modem. This modem is broadcasting your GPS location, your speed, your braking habits, and even the weight of the occupants in the seats to the manufacturer's servers every few seconds. Police have realized they don't need a warrant to search your car if they can just send a subpoena to the car company. They argue that because you voluntarily shared that data with a third party like Ford, GM, or Toyota, you have no reasonable expectation of privacy. The first way to stop this is a systemic disconnect. Many people don't realize that your car has a privacy menu hidden deep in the infotainment settings. You need to go into the Data Sharing or Connected Services tab and uncheck every single box that mentions usage data or third-party sharing. But for the new, more aggressive spying, you might need to go further. There is a physical component in most cars called the Telecommunications Service Module. If you are truly concerned about being tracked in real time by signal sniffers used by local task forces, you can actually pull the fuse for this module. It will disable your in-car Wi-Fi and your remote start features, but it effectively blinds the car's ability to broadcast your life to anyone with a subpoena. From a lawyer's perspective, if the car isn't recording and transmitting the data, the police can't find it later during a discovery phase. Now let's talk about the second new tech threat: fog data science and ad ID mapping. This is perhaps the most clever and invasive tool that has appeared in the last 2 years. Every app on your phone, from your weather app to that random flashlight app you downloaded, generates a unique advertising ID. Marketing companies buy this data to show you ads for shoes after you walk into a footwear store. But a company called Fog Data Science realized they could sell the same data to the police. Police can now draw a geofence around a specific house, a protest, or even a sensitive medical clinic, and see every single ad ID that was there for the last 6 months. They can then follow that ad ID back to where it spends most of its time at 3 a.m., which is usually your home address. They have identified you without ever contacting a phone company or showing a warrant to a judge. The legal stop for this is identifier rotation. On an iPhone, you need to go to Settings, then Privacy and Security, then Tracking, and turn off Allow Apps to Request to Track. You go to Google Settings, then Ads, and you must delete Advertising ID. If you don't delete it, it stays with you forever, like a digital social security number. By deleting it, and then opting out of personalizing ads, you break the chain of evidence that Fog Data Science uses to map your life. As your lawyer, I can tell you that anonymized data is only anonymous until they link it to your home. By regularly resetting your ad ID, you are basically changing your digital fingerprints once a month. The third emerging tech is LIDAR and thermal imaging drones. We are seeing a massive increase in the use of small, Silent drones that don't just take pictures. They use light detection and ranging to create three-dimensional maps of properties, and thermal cameras to see through certain types of structures or detect human heat signatures inside a building. Cops are pushing the legal boundary of the open fields doctrine, claiming that as long as the drone is in public airspace, anything it sees on your property, even if it's behind a fence, is plain view. To fight this, you have to understand aerial privacy jurisprudence. In the famous case of Florida versus Riley, the Supreme Court said police could look down from a helicopter. But modern drones are different. They are silent and can hover for hours. To protect your home, you should consider thermal mitigation. This means ensuring your home is properly insulated with low E-glass coatings that reflect infrared light. If the heat signature of your living room is blocked by high-quality insulation and reflective window tints, the thermal drone sees a cold, empty box instead of a person sitting on a sofa. Furthermore, the use of physical barriers like pergolas or shade sails over your backyard creates an expectation of privacy that makes it much harder for a prosecutor to argue that your backyard was open to the public eye. Fourth, we have to address the biometric dragnet. This is the combination of Clearview AI facial recognition and Ring Neighbors doorbells. Cops now have access to a massive database of billions of photos scraped from social media. If you walk past a neighbor's smart doorbell, the police can now use that footage, run it through Clearview AI, and find your name, your LinkedIn profile, and your home address. They are effectively doing a stop and frisk of every person on a sidewalk without ever leaving the station. The way to stop this is a digital cleanse. You need to go through your social media and make sure your profile pictures are not set to public. Clearview's scrapers can only take what is public. If your Instagram or Facebook is set to private, the algorithm can't ingest your face into the police database. Additionally, as a lawyer, I recommend using the right to be forgotten tools. Under laws like the CCPA in California or the GDPR in Europe, you can actually send a request to delete to facial recognition companies. If your face isn't in the database, the match fails, and you remain anonymous. Anonymity in public is a right that we are losing, but you can fight to keep it by controlling your online surface area. Fifth on the list is predictive policing algorithms, like those provided by companies such as Palantir. These systems score individuals based on who they associate with, where they live, and even what they post online. If you have a high threat score, you might find yourself being pulled over for equipment violations or failure to signal more often than other people. The police call this directed patrol, but it is actually algorithmic harassment. The legal countermeasure here is data literacy. You have a right to transparency. Many states are now passing laws that allow you to request your risk score from local law enforcement agencies. If you find you are being targeted, you can use the legal discovery process to find out why. More importantly, you should practice digital hygiene. These algorithms look for clusters. If your phone is constantly in the same physical location as people who are under investigation, you get guilt by association. To break this, use a VPN on your phone at all times. A virtual private network masks your IP address and makes it appear as though your phone's data is coming from a different city or state. This confuses the clustering algorithms and lowers your perceived risk profile. Let's talk about the MOSAIC effect. This is a concept where police take a lot of small, insignificant pieces of data and put them together to see a significant picture of your life. They might take your smart meter electricity data, your Easy Pass toll tag data, and your grocery loyalty card data. Individually, none of these require a warrant, but together, they tell the police exactly what time you wake up, where you work, and what you eat. To stop this mosaic spying, you have to break the pattern. Use Cash for your daily transactions. Cash has no metadata. It doesn't tell a company or the government where you were or what you bought. If you are using a loyalty card at the grocery store, you are trading your constitutional privacy for a 50-cent discount on eggs. It's a bad trade. From a lawyer's perspective, the paper trail is what wins cases for the government. If there is no paper trail, no digital record of the purchase, there is no evidence. A new and terrifying tech is voice biometrics. When you call a government agency or even some private companies, they are now recording and indexing your voice print, just like your fingerprint. Your voice has a unique frequency. Cops are building voice databases from recorded jail calls and public body camera footage. If they have an anonymous tip on a recording, they can run it through the voice match engine and identify the caller in seconds. The defense against this is audio awareness. When you are in public, or when you are near smart speakers like Alexa or Google Home, you should assume the mic is hot. These devices are always listening for their wake words. But research has shown they often record short bursts of background audio that are sent to the cloud for quality control. If you are having a sensitive conversation, the Japanese Zen approach of simplicity is the best. Put your phones in another room or inside a Faraday box. A Faraday box is a simple metal-lined container that blocks all radio waves and significantly muffles audio. Let's discuss STINGRAYS, or cell site simulators. These devices trick your phone into thinking they are a legitimate cell tower. Once your phone connects, the police can see your IMSI number, your ESN, and they can even block your service or force your phone to downgrade to an unencrypted 2G connection. This allows them to intercept your text messages and calls in real time. To stop a stingray, you need app-level encryption. Standard SMS text messages and cellular calls are incredibly leaky. But if you use an end-to-end encrypted messaging service like Signal, the stingray can intercept the data packet, but it cannot unwrap the message. I tell everyone, if it's not encrypted, it's public. Encryption is the digital wall that protects your mental sanctuary. It turns a search into a mystery. One of the newest and most sophisticated ways they are spying on you is through smartphone sensors. Did you know that your phone has an accelerometer and a gyroscope that are incredibly sensitive? Some researchers have shown that by analyzing the vibrations these sensors pick up, they can actually recover what you were typing on a nearby keyboard or even what was being said in a room. This data is often accessible to apps without you ever clicking allow. The way to stop this sensor spying is physical isolation. When you are not using your phone, don't leave it on the table next to your computer. Put it on a soft surface like a pillow or a jacket. This dampens the vibrations and makes the sensor data noisy and useless. It's a low-tech acoustic shield that costs nothing but protects you from high-tech eavesdropping. We also have to talk about automated license plate readers, or ALPRs. These are cameras on police cars and streetlights that scan every plate that passes. They create a historical map of every car in the city. But the new tech is private network integration. Companies like Flock Safety are installing these cameras in private neighborhoods and shopping centers, and then giving the police a backdoor to search the data. To combat this, you have to be visually mindful. If you are going to a sensitive meeting or a private location, you should consider that your vehicle identity is being logged. Many privacy advocates suggest using public transit or ride-sharing for sensitive trips, but even then, you have the app tracking issue. The most legally protective thing you can do is to incorporate privacy into your daily routine. Vary your routes. Avoid high-camera intersections when possible, and support local ordinances that limit how long police can keep ALPR data. In some cities, they keep it for years, which means they can look back and see where you were 3 years ago on a Tuesday. That is not community safety, that is mass surveillance. Cops love third-party storage. If you save your photos to iCloud, Google Photos, or Dropbox, you have essentially moved your papers and effects from your private house to a corporate warehouse. The standard for the police to search a corporate warehouse is much lower than the standard to search your house. They often just have to send a national security letter or a simple administrative subpoena that doesn't require a judge's signature. The lawyer's fix for this is end-to-end encrypted backups and local storage. If you use a service like Proton Drive, or if you use advanced data protection on your iPhone, the encrypted key is on your device, not with the company. This means even if the police subpoena Apple or Google, the company says, "We have the data, but we can't read it for you." This technical impossibility is the ultimate legal shield. You are making it so that even if the law says yes, the physics says no. Another major threat is social media mapping. Cops use tools like Babel Street to monitor your social graph. They aren't just looking at what you post. They are looking at what your friends post about you. If your friend tags you in a photo at a specific restaurant, the police now have your location and your vibe, even if you don't even have a social media account. To stop this proxy spying, you have to have a privacy talk with your inner circle. Tell your friends and family, please do not tag me in photos, and please do not post my location in real time. This is about collective privacy. You can be the most secure person in the world, but if your inner circle is leaky, you are still a target. As a lawyer, Let's discuss HEISKB, or High-End Intelligent Surveillance Kit boxes. These are gray boxes that police often mount on utility poles. They contain high-definition cameras, microphones, and Wi-Fi sniffers. They are designed to snag the MAC address of your phone as you walk by. Your MAC address is a physical identifier for your Wi-Fi chip. The stop for this is MAC randomization. Most modern phones have this built in, but you have to enable it. Go into your Wi-Fi settings and make sure private Wi-Fi address is turned on. This ensures that every time your phone pings a nearby network, it uses a fake address. This prevents the gray box on the pole from tracking you as you move through the city. It's like wearing a different digital mask on every street corner. Now, I want to give you the lawyer's ultimate counter-tech protocol. If you want to stop the spy state from winning, like Graphene OS, it removes the tracking bloatware that the big companies use to feed the data brokers. Step 2. Acoustic and visual isolation. Use physical covers on your cameras and Faraday pouches for your devices when you aren't using them. Step 3. Legal knowledge. Know that you have a right to remain silent and a right to refuse search. Hey, can I just look at your phone for a second? The answer is always, I do not consent to a search of my property. Step 4. Browser and app hygiene. Use Brave or DuckDuckGo for searching, and use ad blockers to prevent fingerprinting. Step 5. The cash lifestyle. Use physical currency for your private movements. Think about the psychology of this new tech. The goal is to make privacy feel inconvenient or suspicious. They want you to feel that if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. But as a lawyer, I know that innocent people are caught in digital dragnets every day. Innocent people have their lives ruined because an algorithm made a mistake. Innocent people find themselves in databases they never should have been in. Privacy is not about hiding a crime. Privacy is about preserving your dignity. It is about having a room of your own that the government cannot enter. It is the foundation of a free society. If you lose your digital privacy, you lose your mental independence. You begin to self-censor. You stop going to certain places because you know the ALPR camera is watching. You stop saying certain things because you know the smart speaker is listening. This chilling effect is the ultimate spying win. By implementation of these stopping techniques, you are doing more than just protecting your data. You are enforcing the Constitution in a world that is trying to delete it. The Fourth Amendment was written for papers and effects, but the spirit of the law applies to pixels and servers. If we don't defend the pixels, the papers won't matter. The power is still in your hands. Technology is just a tool, and like any tool, it can be blunted. The police are relying on your convenience and your ignorance. Once you choose privacy over convenience and knowledge over ignorance, the spy tech loses its power. Your car is yours. Your phone is yours. Your life is yours. Don't let a subpoena or a signal sniffer tell you otherwise. Stay alert, stay encrypted, and stay anonymized. The digital sanctuary is still possible, but you have to build it yourself. As a lawyer, I will always be in the courtroom fighting the big battles, but you are the front line in the daily battle for your own threshold. Take a deep breath and realize that you are now better informed than 99% of the population. You know the names of the secret tools, and you know the specific fixes. Go out there and be a citizen, not a data point. Keep your identifiers rotated and your cameras covered. The Fourth Amendment isn't just a piece of paper. It is a living shield that only works if you hold it up. You've learned how to hold it up against the digital onslaught. Keep it strong, keep it high, and never apologize for wanting to live a private life. Safe travels through the digital landscape. And remember, the off switch is the most powerful privacy tool ever invented. Use it often. The technological arms race will continue. The spy state will find new ways to listen and watch. But for every new tech they deploy, there is a new way to stop it. We are in this together. Stay vigilant, stay digital clean, and stay free. The courtroom of the future is being built today. And with these tools, you are making sure the defense has the upper hand. Thank you for being someone who cares enough to listen and learn. Your privacy is worth the effort. It's worth the inconvenience. It's worth the fight. See you on the private side of the connection. Stay secure and keep your threshold sealed. You have the instructions now. Go